Hi folks, Coach Rich. Welcome to your Endurance Nation trial membership cycling video. I'm broadcasting live from our Ironman Wisconsin hotel room. There are four cornerstones to the Endurance Nation cycling method. Cycling is about power or pace or speed at lactate or functional threshold. We focus on the amount of work we do in a ride, not the volume. Third is we focus very much on proper bike leg execution on race day. And fourth is we also focus a lot on bike fit and proper bike setup. So let's talk about each one of those. First and most important is if you want to ride fast, you have to ride fast. And the data point that we track, that we measure, is your speed or watts at your lactate threshold if you are a heart rate athlete, or your functional threshold power if you are a power athlete. What that means is if you can ride 20 miles an hour for an hour, then let's say that your Ironman bike speed ends up being 17. Okay, the way to get faster is to have you riding quite a bit, interval-based workouts at 21, at 22. That 20 miles per hour that you can ride for 1 hour increases to 21 or 22, and consequently your Ironman bike speed increases from 17 to 18 to 19. If you are a power athlete and your functional threshold power, the power that you can hold for 1 hour, if it's 250 watts, that means that you'll ride your Ironman bike at 180 watts, and that 180 watts equals 19. Okay, we have you doing lots and lots of interval work where you build up that functional threshold power from 250 to 260 to 270 to 280, and as a consequence, your Ironman bike wattage goes from 180 to 200 to 210, and it gets faster also. Historically, in the off season over the last 2 years, our athletes have achieved a 15% functional threshold power gain. Some have been as high as 25%. And the net is that when these athletes, April is a fun time for us because athletes who've been training solo in the dark in their pain caves, while their training partners have been doing a traditional Ironman training style, those two parties meet in April, and our folks are dramatically faster than their old selves and faster than their training partners. It's a neat thing to see. April is a fun month for us. So consequently, all of our workouts have some form of interval training in them where we are focused on lifting your watts at your speed or your watts at lactate threshold if you're a heart rate athlete, functional threshold power if you are a power athlete. The second cornerstone is we don't focus on the volume or the time on the bike, it's the amount of work that you do in the time. This is a consequence of our focus on power training, and that I do a ride and you do a ride, and we download those files into WKO. And because I'm focused on the work, I acquire more training stress. My training stress score for that ride is higher than yours because I focused on the work. And so what you'll see with our long rides is there's a period of us focusing on lifting your lactate threshold or functional threshold power. Every long ride has some form of 2x15, 3x15, 2x20, 3x10, and then we have you doing a lot of riding at zone 3 if you're a heart rate athlete, or 85% if you are a power athlete. And the reason why is those are efforts that we have figured out where you can sit there quite a long time. It's challenging, but you can sit there for a long time and accumulate a lot of work. And mentally, it feels like you are working. It's not super hard like threshold work. It just feels like work. And the net is we focus on the amount of work that you put into a 4-hour ride. It's very common. We've been selling these training plans for years and years. And the first thing that an athlete does is they download it and they go to week 16 or week 18 of a 20-week Ironman training plan, and they want to see, what's my highest volume week? And they see long rides of 3.5 hours, 4 hours, 4.5 hours. Where's my 5-hour ride? Where's my 7-hour ride? You mean, these guys only have me riding over 100 miles once? What's up with that? I come from a lifetime of doing weekend after weekend after week of 5, 6, 7-hour rides. It only takes a couple times of doing our flavor of 3 or 3.5 hour ride or 4 to 4.5 hour ride to realize that, yeah, you're doing lots of work. So you'll be joining us in the off season. Our Saturday rides to include an outdoor riding option. The longest volume is maybe 2.5 hours. So you won't be seeing an Endurance Nation style long ride for quite a bit, but if you are fortunate enough to be able to ride outdoors in the winter, like I am from SoCal, do one of our 2.5 hour rides the way that we want you to, and extrapolate what that's going to be like for a 4-hour ride, and we're pretty sure that you'll be convinced that you're going to be doing a lot of work inside our 4-hour ride. The net is the focus on the functional threshold power, speed at lactate threshold makes you a faster cyclist. That focus on the work, not the time, puts a very tasty flavor of far on top of that fast. The third cornerstone is bike fit and bike setup. We have a bike fit ebook. Go out there. Please find me the coach that has created a bike fit ebook. We believe very strongly that bike fit and proper bike setup are free speed on race day. So that bike fit ebook talks about principles of bike fit. It talks about should I or should I not wear an aero helmet, race wheels, how should I set up my bottles, all this stuff. If you look at the Endurance Nation athlete on race day, from the guy who's trying to qualify for Kona to the guy who's looking at a 15-hour Ironman, their bike setups are very similar, because we as a team have given a lot of thought and a lot of effort to aerodynamic bike fit, to placement of bottles, gear, numbers, tubes, tires, tools, food on the bike, nutrition on the bike, gearing. We have so that everyone on the entire squad is racing like a pro. And the fourth cornerstone of Endurance Nation cycling is execution on race day. Folks, I hate to tell you, but we're going to make the Ironman bike a very, very boring exercise for you. We've taken out all the guesswork. During this trial period, spend half a day of the man's time at work going through our race report forum and our race execution forum. Look at the quality of discussions that we have. Look at the quality of the insights we have around people's races. We have a extremely vibrant and very strong culture of knowing how to execute the long course races. And nowhere on race day is that more data driven and scientific and no-brainer and dialed in as it is on the bike. And you're going to see this. So that's it. Hope you enjoy your trial period, folks. We have a lot of cool stuff planned for you next year, especially around challenges in the winter, bike challenges. A lot of plans to up our race execution game again. Lots of plans for doing very, very cool stuff for you on race weekends. Hope you choose to stay on board. That's it. Coach Rich signing off.